11 issues, 11 months of build-up to this, the final battle between Xmen and Factor 3. You ready? I'm ready. Let's get to the issue. What's going on, everyone? It's your boy back at you again with another issue of Tommy Reads X-Men, the show in which I take a look at each issue of X-Men individually and tell you my own unique spin on it. Kind of a review, kind of a little commentary. You'll get it as we go along. Anyway, today we're looking at X-Men number 39 from December 1967. This is written by Roy Thomas with art by Warner Roth. It's called The Fateful Finale. That's right. It kind of sounds a little bit like a Lemony Snicket title. The Fateful Finale, you know what I'm saying? Good alliteration, but we're talking X-Men, y'all. Now, picking up from what we did last issue. If you haven't read last issue, I'm going to leave a link in the description below so you can check it out. But the X-Men are split up at this point. Cyclops and Iceman went to a U.S. military base. Jean, Hank, and Angel went to a European military base because the Mutant Master and his team, Factor 3, have planted bombs and atomic bombs, and they're going to start World War III. Their plan is to destroy all the humans and leave whatever's left for the mutants. That's not the smartest plan, but you know, we pick up where Iceman and Cyclops are, and they are outnumbered by the military, and they defuse the bomb. They get to the bomb, they defuse it. Iceman does some icy stuff. Stay cool, Mr. Freeze. And actually, speaking of Mr. Freeze, while Iceman and Cyclops are going there fighting the military, trying to escape, Iceman straight up freezes a dude. He freezes him completely. Now, a little aside here. You know, if Mr. Freeze had done that, this guy would be straight up dead. But this dude was still like, oh, I'm frozen, I just can't move, you know, oh my gosh, Iceman, please thaw me out. You know, but he was like that. But, like, in the DC world, like, I don't know if you ever read Gotham Central, but, like, that's a tight, highly recommended story. But in that one, like, the first issue, Mr. Freeze freezes some dude and his arm comes clean off, you know, this ain't happening here. There was more smiles and stuff than that. But anyway, I digress. We cut to Jean, Angel, Hank, and Blob. And they're all kidnapped by the European military. So Hank grabs a guard. Jean uses her little mind telekinesis or whatever to get the keys from the guard. X-Men plus Blob get free. And Blob and Hank start tough talking to each other or whatever, and then they start razzing it up a bit. They start fighting, and somehow, surprise, surprise, Hank gets knocked out. We're going back and forth. So Scott and Bobby, for some reason, the military thought, you know, this spaceship, this escape ship that the X-Men showed up in, we're not going to guard it. And so they get back in the ship, easy peasy, and fly out there. I can't think of anything that's going to rhyme, but lemon squeezy. So the U.S. military thinks like, oh, you know what? That ship that they showed up in is probably not worth guarding. And we cut back. We're jumping back and forth to the Blob, who suddenly has the detonator. I don't know if he had it this whole time, but he has the detonator to the bomb. And he's like, all y'all gonna die, but I could survive this. Now, can he? I mean, the Blob can take a lot, but an atomic bomb? Come on, son. Come on. You know that you ain't gonna be able to do that. Now, Jean, using not her powers, but simple-ass logic, is like, Blob, can I call you Blob? He's like, no. But, all right, Blob, can you survive this? Who knows? The Mutant Master don't care about you. He wants you to die. He brought you on a suicide mission, bruh. And Blob's like, what? You might be, you know what? I'm tired of y'all X-Men. Leave me alone. Screw you guys, I'm going home. And so he takes off. Now Angel grabs the bomb, which is still about to go off. And he flies up in the air. Now thankfully he doesn't, pull a Blob suicide mission. He tosses the bomb in the air, and this is the cool part. He drops a Juan Marichal, the Dominican dandy, Juan Marichal. He drops a reference to him.
Won 243 games and lost only 142 over 16 marvelous seasons.
He's like, good thing I saw him pitch on TV. Shout out to my San Francisco Giants, love my Giants. Anyway, so the bomb does what a bomb does. It goes. Now, the European military, they're like, oh my gosh. I'm not even going to try an accent because they never said what part of Europe they were in. Anyway, the European military are like, oh my gosh, the X-Men were telling the truth. They totally wanted to save us. Whew. We should arrest them anyway. So they try to arrest him, but Angel scoops up Hank and Jean. Somehow. Now, a couple issues ago, he could barely hold Cyclops, but Hank's like, oh, chalk it up to adrenaline. So Angel's so pumped, he's able to lift 2 grown human beings and himself on his wings and fly them to safety. I mean, adrenaline does a lot, but, like, there's adrenaline and then there's, like, crackhead strong. You may be asking yourself, where did Scott and Bobby go? Did they go back to the mansion, make a cheese sandwich, just chill out and wait for the other X-Men? We getting serious about this one. This is the fateful finale, y'all, not the fateful continuation. We've been with this Factor 3 journey for 11 issues. They mentioned it 11 issues ago. That's almost a year's worth of story. And we get in a resolution for this one. So, they show up at the Factor 3's lair. The second lair that they've had. They show up, and who do they encounter? All the evil mutants. We talking Blob. How he got there, we don't know. Mastermind, Eunice the Untouchable, the Vanisher, and the Mutant Master. The Mutant Master is the head of Factor 3. His number 2 in command, Changeling, we don't know where he's at, but he's been mistreated by the Mutant Master. Last issue was a weird, like, character turn. But anyway, the Mutant Master shows up in a dope tank that has a force field on it. Now, he's telling the other evil mutants, because, I mean, really, what were they doing? Like, yeah, they planted bombs and stuff, but the X-Men were kind of jerks to them, too. I mean, is it more of a receipt, or is it more, you know, like, they're evil? I don't know. Anyway, so he's telling them, like, attack them. And then it's just Iceman and Bobby, or is it? Because X-Men are at full strength. Angel, Jean, Hank somehow break the speed of sound and show up to the Factor 3 lair. Now they're about to tussle. It's about to be 5-on-5. Some X-Men versus evil mutants. And who breaks it up? Papa Chuck, y'all. He awake. Papa Chuck has been in a comatose state. Kind of a receipt for what he did to Juggernaut. Go back to a few issues and check that out. And he says, stop. You guys need to quit this, okay? We don't need this. We ain't here for this, all right? The Mutant Master is, number 1, evil mutants. Why is he calling them that? He literally called them, like, evil mutants. You know, that's putting a label. Like, not all Slytherins are, like, 100% evil, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, he's like, evil mutants, you guys, he's gonna turn on you. And this guy ain't all he seems to be. He ain't one of us.
She doesn't even go here.
You know what I'm saying? You watch, and then, as if on cue, the Mutant Master turns on the evil mutants. He's like, you guys ain't going to work with me? I'm going to turn against you. I got these robot servants out of nowhere, and they're going to do my bidding because they're robots, and I done programmed them like a VCR vision, like a VCR to fight for me and record Days of Our Lives at 3. So what we get is the X-Men, all of them, Hank, Jean, Angel, Bobby, Cyclops, and the evil mutants, Blob, Mastermind, Eunice the Untouchable, Vanisher, versus the Mutant Master and some robots, which is awesome. Awesome fight. Anytime you got robots and mutants throwing down, I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying? It's incredible. It was action, punches, kicks, swoops. You know, it was a couple pages of goodness, y'all. Trust your boy on this. But who shows up? Another Papa Chuck. Woo! There's 2 of them. 2 of them. Now, Jean's trying to read the mind, and then the first one's like, that's the real dude. Just straight up told her. Because who was it? Who was the first Papa Chuck who was, you know, narking out the Mutant Master? Changeling. That's right, his minion. The minion who was mistreated. Changeling, he could change into someone. Though we hadn't seen him do it before, but he chose the right person because he ended up turning on the Mutant Master, the evil mastermind. In wrestling terms, it's called a face turn. You know, where he goes from bad guy to good guy. They all turn on the mutant master. Now, there's one more missing piece to the puzzle, and it's the Banshee. The Banshee was working as a spy at first for Charles, Papa Chuck, and now he'd been in a coma with him. The Banshee wakes up, starts his scream, and it messes the mutant master up. Tears through the force field, tears through the tank, tears through his armor, and we see, wait for it. Banshee comes in, yells at him like, ah! Whew. Shout out Jack Black's School of Rock yell. I can't yell as loud as a Banshee, but anyway, he messes the mutant master up so bad he reveals he's a green, weird-looking alien. Let's get back to the review. What? Woo! That was a hell of a reveal past me. Yeah, the mutant master is an alien. A green, frog, weird-looking alien. And the Banshee scream done messed him up. Took him out. Killed him. Factor 3 is no more. After a year's worth of story, Factor 3's done with. The evil mutants of the Xmen looking at each other like, what now, son? What? Like with that, you remember that from grade school? Like if you were around my age, that fake like, what? That bullies used to pull? I didn't pull it. I wasn't a bully. I was bullied. Anyway, so Professor X is like, nah, we ain't here for this. Just like Changeling did, like as if they were practicing the speech. Like, you come out first, and then I'm gonna come out. But we're gonna say something similar. Changeling disappeared as well. Like, he was part of the evil mutants now, and he was like, you know what? We all work together here. We're gonna go our separate ways. Call this one a wash. We're gonna fight again like in a week and a half. That good for you guys? Until then, let's... Hey, anybody down for some Sizzler? Sizzler. No? Just me? Blob. No. Watching your weight. Anyway, so they all go their separate ways. We go back to the X Mansion. All seems well. And somehow during all this, Jean has a surprise for the X-Men. That during all this, you know, cloak and dagger, skullduggery, and fighting, and whatever, pan business, she had time to make new costumes for the X-Men. New non-matching costumes. Now, Hank's and Angel's are, I'm gonna be honest, pretty ugly. Jean's is her classic kind of Marvel Girl look. I think it's the green dress. And Cyclops gets his classic kind of blue singlet with yellow briefs. Iceman, unfortunately, she made him new boots and gloves. He's like, yeah, shout out for the new boots and gloves. Thanks, Jean. End of issue. Kinda, because we have a backup story. The backup story this month is based on Cyclops, Scott Summers. It's called Lonely Are the Hunted. I'm going to be honest, it wasn't the... Like, last month we got Papa Chuck's backstory of how he's mind-wiping people left and right in the idea of showing that mutants are safe by mind-wiping people, which kind of defeats the purpose to me. But anyway, Cyclops, last issue, Professor X learned about him. As he does in this issue, we get it from Cyclops' perspective. He was helping save some people that there was a construction site, a falling beam was coming down, and his mutant power, his optic blast, manifested. Before that, Papa Chuck met with the guy who gave him his ruby quartz glasses. That was just to help with headaches. Now, Cyclops, for saving these people, was rewarded by being called freak and chased and being called a mutant and all kinds of horrible stuff because people are awful. Now, he was living in an orphanage, and he felt like he couldn't go back because they saw him, they would trace him back. So he jumps on a freight train. He gets on the freight train where he's harassed by bums, he's harassed by cops, and then all of a sudden he's called to some weird shack by a mystery mutant who's like, come in here. And that's the end of that. Kind of like leaves you on a cliffhanger for the next backup story. It's alright. Alright, y'all. This one, I'm not going to lie. This was a 9 out of 10. Action-packed issue. We finally got a resolution on Factor 3, which was a satisfying resolution because it was a great battle at the end. It was a surprise reveal. Like, I didn't know that dude was an alien. I thought, like, maybe it was somebody else calling himself the Mutant Master, Magneto. Although I would have been disappointed if this was a Mags plan, because it was a D-level Mags plan to begin with. Magneto way better than that, you know? But it was a surprise reveal, unexpected, almost a year story wrapped up. The backup story wasn't as great, though. Like, this almost would have been a 9.5, 9.75, maybe even a 10 issue if the backup story had just been a little bit better. So this was a really good issue. After a few spotty hit and miss ones, we finally got a really great issue. I really enjoyed this one. I definitely recommend, if you have Marvel Unlimited, why aren't you reading these X-Men #1 in order like I am? Follow your boy on his journey. But if you have Marvel Unlimited, go check out this issue. You know, if you have like reprints or something, this is probably an expensive issue. It's from 1967, for God's sakes. But if you have a means to go read it, definitely go read it. Read the other Factor 3s. And you know what? Watch my reviews on them. If you like what you're seeing or mildly entertained, please hit that subscribe button down here. Hit the notifications in the corner. Let people know about the YouTube's best kept secret, the Tommy Loves Stuff channel. You know, I do X-Men reviews, I do book reviews, movie reviews, all kinds of pop culture. If you like food, snacks, this is the channel for you. If this is your first time watching, thank you for letting me entertain you for a moment. If this is your 15th, 20th, 35th time watching, shout out to you. I appreciate the support. We'll be back again next week. Later.